I stopped pretending this was just stress the day I found the scratch on my car. It wasn't deep, barely noticeable unless you knew exactly where to look. Right along the driver's side door, thin and deliberate. A key mark, clean, slow, intentional. Alex's voice message echoed in my head. You have no idea what losing looks like yet. I stood there in the driveway longer than I should have, the cold biting through my jacket, realizing something ugly. This wasn't intimidation anymore. It was escalation. I went straight to my lawyer. This isn't coincidence, she said after looking at the photos. This is a warning. So what now? I asked. Now, she replied, we stop reacting and start documenting everything. Restraining orders, police reports, paper trails, cameras installed around my house by that evening. I felt ridiculous doing it, like I was overreacting, until I remembered the black SUV, the photo of me at the cafe, the messages sent to other husbands. This man didn't bluff. That night, Maya called me. I need to tell you something, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I sat down. Go on. He wasn't just threatening me, she said. He was coaching me. Coaching you how? How to lie, she said. What to say if you confronted me, if you confronted the court. What to say if you got violent. My stomach turned. Violent? He told me men like you always snap eventually, she said. That if I played scared long enough, people would believe it. That was the moment I realized Alex wasn't just protecting himself. He was preparing a narrative. Why are you telling me this now? I asked. Because he crossed a line, she replied. She told me what happened 2 nights earlier. Alex had shown up again, this time not calm, not smiling, angry. He said I owed him, she said, that without him I'd be nothing, that he made me feel alive and I repaid him by ruining everything. Did he touch you? I asked. No, she said quickly, then paused. But he blocked the door. I closed my eyes, and he said something else, she continued. He said if this went public, you'd be the one people blamed. That night, I filed the police report. The officer listened carefully, took notes, nodded a lot, but I could tell no blood, no assault, no smoking gun meant limited urgency. Still, it was on record now, and records matter. The next day, something unexpected happened. The gym released a statement. Not public, internal. But someone leaked it. Alex wasn't just suspended. He was under investigation for misconduct. Multiple counts, including one incident that made my chest tighten when I read it. A woman claimed Alex had pressured her into continuing a relationship by threatening to expose private conversations to her employer. That wasn't manipulation. That was coercion. My lawyer called me immediately. This is bigger than we thought. How big? I asked. Big enough that his lawyer just withdrew, she said. I exhaled slowly. For the first time in weeks, it felt like the ground shifted slightly in my favor. But Alex wasn't done. That evening, my phone rang from a blocked number. I shouldn't have answered. I did anyway. You think you're smarter than me, Alex said calmly. I think you're scared, I replied. He laughed. You don't get it. I don't lose. You already are, I said. Silence. Then, check your email. The call ended. My hands were shaking as I opened my inbox. There it was, a draft complaint, filed but not submitted. Alex accusing me of harassment, stalking, defamation, screenshots, timelines, carefully edited again, and one final paragraph that made my blood run cold. Plaintiff asserts a reasonable fear for his safety based on defendant's escalating behavior. He was flipping the script. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. Her response came fast. He's desperate, she said, and desperate people make mistakes. What kind of mistakes? I asked. The kind that leave evidence. That night, Maya texted me one sentence. He doesn't know I saved everything. I stared at the screen. What everything? I typed back. She didn't answer right away. When she finally did, it was a photo, a screenshot of a hidden folder on her phone. Dozens of voice notes, messages, threats, and one video labeled with a date that made my heart stop. The night of the car accident. I realized then that the story I thought I was telling, the affair, the lies, the intimidation, was only the surface. Whatever was in that folder didn't just prove betrayal, it could destroy him. I told Maya not to send anything else over text. If he's watching, I said, we assume he's watching everything. She agreed. For once, no arguing, no deflecting, just quiet fear, the kind that finally strips the ego away. We met the next morning in my lawyer's office. Maya looked different, smaller somehow, like the version of her that once laughed easily had been worn down by weeks of fear and guilt. She handed over her phone without hesitation. I didn't even realize I was collecting evidence, she said softly. I was just trying to protect myself. My lawyer plugged the phone into her laptop and opened the folder. The room went silent. There were voice notes, dozens of them. Alex's voice, calm and controlled, slowly shifting into something darker over time. One clip played. You don't get to leave when you want, Alex said. I gave you confidence. I gave you purpose. You don't blow that up without consequences. Another. If your husband finds out, I'll make sure everyone knows you chased me. You think courts care about truth? They care about stories. Maya stared at the floor. Then my lawyer clicked on the video from the night of the car accident. It wasn't graphic, no blood, no screaming, just Alex pacing beside the damaged car, angry, unfiltered, talking, not to Maya but to himself. This is why I told you to be careful, he snapped. Do you know how much trouble this could cause me? Maya's voice was barely audible in the background. I'm scared. Then do exactly what I say, he replied. The lawyer paused the video. This, she said calmly, is not an affair. This is control. She looked at me, and this changes everything. Within hours, she contacted the investigator assigned to the gym case, then a prosecutor. Quietly, carefully, no dramatic confrontations, no public accusations, just facts. That afternoon, Alex tried calling Maya again. She didn't answer. Instead, she forwarded the call log to the lawyer. Then came the email. Short, polite, chilling. Please cease all contact immediately. Any further attempts will be documented. 10 minutes later, another message came in. Not from Alex, from his sister. He's not well. You're pushing him too far. Please stop. That was the first time I felt real fear, not for myself, but for what desperation can do to someone who's already lost control. That night, a patrol car sat outside my house. Precautionary, the officer said. I nodded, pretending that was normal. Around midnight, my lawyer texted me. They're moving faster than expected. I stared at the message. How fast? I replied. Her answer came a moment later, enough that he knows something is coming. At 2:14 a.m., my phone buzzed again. Unknown number, no message. Just a voicemail. I listened to it once, then again. Alex's voice, no confidence left this time. No charm, just anger wrapped around panic. You think you've won, he said. You have no idea what you've started. I deleted the voicemail but saved the file, because now I understood something clearly. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about justice. It was about stopping someone who thought people were disposable. And for the first time since this nightmare began, I wasn't reacting anymore. I was ready, not to confront him, but to let the truth do what it does best when it's finally backed by evidence, silently, relentlessly, and without mercy. This is the point where fear stopped controlling the story and evidence took over. What we uncovered next didn't just threaten his reputation. It forced powerful people to get involved, and it put all of us on a collision course with consequences no one could undo. The next chapter shows what happened when the truth stopped being private and started moving on its own. You'll want to see what comes next in the following video. If you're following this story, subscribe to the channel, tap like to support it, and stay with me, because from here on, there's no turning back.